Now, Cindy Bucato, Dennis Bounds, and meteorologist Dennis Felkin. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good afternoon, everyone. You're looking at a live picture of the site of the worst fire in Minneapolis history. It was just about this time 24 hours ago that flames from the old Donaldson's building on Nicollet Mall spread to the Northwestern National Bank headquarters and then caused some $30 million in damage. Well, Stan Turner is standing by live at the scene of that fire. We will give the latest to you in just a moment. Dennis?
Also in the next half hour, Tony Vigneri will report on a plan to build a $50 million horse race track right here in the Twin Cities.
Again in downtown Minneapolis for the latest on what's the biggest fire in Minneapolis history. Stan?
Cindy, there's so much noise down here. Wrecking crews have just gotten to work. I can only presume you asked me what's happening. It looks a lot like it did last night. The fire, of course, is under control. Firefighters, many of them remain at the scene right here. Cleanup operations, trying to make sure that the fire does not rekindle. And a wrecking ball has just gone to work here on the 6th Street side, starting to knock down what is left of the north side of the old Donaldson's department store. Of course, more than 100 firefighters were here last night and through much of the night to contain the blaze to the one-block area, which is bounded by Nicollet Mall to the west, 6th Street to the north, Marquette to the east, and 7th to the south. At least 9 firefighters were treated for minor injuries. One firefighter is hospitalized with chest pains, but amazingly, the injuries did not get any worse. Now, this is being called the most destructive fire ever in the history of downtown Minneapolis. Fire officials are now sure it began in the demolition site of the old Donaldson's building. Within 45 minutes, it spread to the upper floors of the adjacent Northwest Bank building and raged out of control for 12 hours until 5 o'clock this morning. More than 100 firefighters, many of them called in from off-duty, battled the blaze throughout the night. When the sun came up this morning, the fire was still smoldering. Clearly visible was the damage to the Northwest Bank building. The damage estimates are running as high as $30 million. Now, the Minneapolis Arson Squad has been investigating the fire since it began, checking out reports of suspicious people seen in the area and talking with eyewitnesses. But today, the investigators have talked with reporters and said the cause is, at this point anyway, 24 hours after the fire, still not known.
We don't have a cause. We're investigating a couple different possibilities. We've got some street rumors that we're checking on that haven't really panned out. We've got a couple different versions of statements that were made, but the information is enough so that we have to talk to these people and get it straight.
Now, the officials are right now trying to figure out why the Donaldson's fire reached such intensity so quickly. It was awfully fast, but they can explain it spreading to the bank building, the adjacent building. The high flames literally leaped into the upper floor windows of the bank, and radiant heat even ignited some of those office space above the 6th floor level as well. The skyways between the bank and 3 adjoining buildings received high marks. Those skyways did everything worked to prevent the spread of the fire and most of the smoke. Now, the 6th Street Skyway even stood up under the force of a collapsing wall. Well, business as usual. That's how the Northwestern Bank officials are describing their operations today, quite amazingly. Customers could still take care of their business at the Skyway Convenience Bank downtown or at any one of the bank's 6 branches.
Those facilities are fully operational.
Well, that was possible because the computers which keep all of a modern bank's accounts, the machines that process the checks and transfer money from bank to bank, and the people who answer customer questions, all of those were housed in a different building, the operations center, which is 4 blocks away. There wasn't even any money stored in the parts of the old building that burned. And though no one was allowed into the old building today, bank officials also assured customers that anything that they've deposited in the safe deposit vault is also safe.
Whether people will be able to get in to their vaults on Monday really depends upon the structural soundness of the building.